And here was me going optimistically towards 2020. Hello everybody, it's Katie here. So yeah, coronavirus. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's something none of us predicted for 2020. I saw the memes at the end of 2019 about how the 20s always include some sort of mass plague, and I found it funny at the time, but now looking back it's not so funny because it was right. And yeah, coronavirus has touched almost every part of the world at this point, and it's terrifying. Right now in the UK we have just started our lockdown basically, so right now everyone's very stressed. No one really knows what's going to happen over the next few weeks. So I think right now is the perfect time to pick up a nice book. One that is going to make you forget about all of the horrible things and hopefully put a smile on your face. So for that reason, I've got a few recommendations for you today. I know some of you are probably already aware of this, but I do have a book blog, and I try to make my channel and my blog go hand in hand, so I'm using the two platforms together, which is why the majority of my book reviews tend to be on my blog, whereas my channel is more like tags and challenges and longer discussions, just so I'm not constantly posting the same sort of content on each platform. So on my blog the other day I did a post about feel-good series that you can start now, because it's the perfect time to if you're stuck indoors and you just want a good series to sink your teeth into but you want it to be light-hearted. So I picked out 5 series and wrote them up in a blog post, and I'll leave a link down there if you would like to check that out. So for the channel I thought I would do 5 feel-good standalone books. In case you weren't in the mood to delve into a series, if you just want something quick and nice, then these books might be for you. So yeah, hopefully you get a good recommendation out of this. You know, I've just realised, looking at these 5 books, that 4 of them are LGBT+ stories, which is completely unintentional. I just tend to have a lot of gay rom-coms, which, you know, is what you might need right now. So yeah, the first book on this list is What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. This isn't the actual cover because this is my proof copy, but this book is so much fun. It follows 2 characters called Arthur and Ben, and the 2 of them end up going on a series of not so wonderful dates. They keep redoing their first date to try and make it better because fate just doesn't seem to want them to be together. It is hilarious. There are so many funny scenes. The characters are glorious. The 2 of them live very different lives from the other, so it's interesting getting to see them both experience each other's worlds. It's just one of those books that leaves your heart happy. So at the moment I know the Scribd app, is it Scribd? They've made their library available for free at the moment, and What If It's Us is actually available on there if you want to quickly download it and give it a read. So it's easily available if you want to give it a try. The next book on my list is Alice in Wonderland by Simon James Green. This book made me laugh so much. It is one that is quite impossible to read in public actually, so it's perfect for reading indoors because I read it during my commute and that was a mistake because this book is like ridiculously funny. The situations that this boy ends up in. So the main character Alex lives in a kind of rundown town on the waterfront, and in that town there is an even more rundown arcade called Wonderland, and he accidentally finds himself getting a summer job there. And when I say accidentally, I mean really, it's quite an accident. So he ends up making friends with the workers that are there, develops one of those good old crushes, and the characters basically come together to try and save Wonderland because it's one of those places that just doesn't tend to survive in modern times. I especially loved this book because I do actually live quite close to the waterfront, and there is a town near me that is exactly like the setting of this book. There is a very rundown amusement arcade that I used to go to all the time when I was a teenager, and last year we found out that it was gonna close because they didn't see any point in keeping it open anymore. And even though I understand that, it's still devastating because it's just It's just one of those things that you look at and it instantly gives you a bunch of memories. So I felt quite attached to this book because of that. But also, it's just a really funny read. Alex is such an unlucky character, and you know, I can relate to that. And yeah, if you need a book that'll make you laugh right now, this is the one for you. So my third book is one that I read when I was a lot younger, but it's still a very nice, enjoyable read, and it is Teen Idol by Meg Cabot. I will admit that when I was making this list, I did struggle a lot with books to find because for some reason my shelves just lack nice, funny, light-hearted stories. So clearly I need more of them myself, but I do still have a lot of the books that I read when I was in my early and mid-teens. Most of those books were written by Meg Cabot. This was the first standalone Meg Cabot book that I remember reading. I think I probably read this before Princess Diaries actually. So this book follows a character called Jen who at school is made to look after a new student. His name is Lucas Smith, but that's not his actual identity. In reality, he is Lucas Stryker, and he is one of Hollywood's biggest teen movie stars. And he's come to Jen's high school to do research for his latest role. So it's very Disney Channel-esque. It does read like a Disney Channel original movie. I don't know if any of you remember Starstruck that was on Disney Channel back in the day, but that very much reminded me of this book, except this story doesn't really follow a romance between Jen and Lucas, which is something I really appreciated because going into it, you expect her to fall in love with the movie star. That doesn't happen. It's really cute, and I put it on here basically because I just want to hype up Meg Cabot, because honestly, I wouldn't have a lot of the happy teen memories that I do without her books. So yeah, maybe now is the perfect time to dig out all of those books that you read when you were a younger teenager and relive them again. So the fourth book is You Know Me Well by Nina LaCour and David Levithan. Again, this is my proof copy, so it's not the actual finished cover. I read this book during Pride Month a few years ago, and honestly, it's exactly what we need right now. It follows two different characters, Mark and Kate. They end up meeting at the start of the story and they become best friends instantly. And it is very much a story of their friendship as opposed to a romance story, even though both of them have love interests and it deals with the problems with regards to that. It's still got friendship at its core, and it's just such a heartwarming story. It is set in the run-up to Pride in San Francisco, and you know, considering the situation right now, I think the majority of Pride events are probably going to be cancelled at this point, or at least postponed until much later in the year. So if you want to get into the Pride spirit at home, then this is the perfect book for it. The last couple of chapters in the story that actually focus on the Pride Parade itself, they make me cry because nothing quite compares to being at Pride and being around all of these celebrating people. So yeah, this is just a nice book. So my final book is one that I've reviewed on here recently. It is Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I've already done a discussion on this book where I cried and cried about how much I loved it, so you don't need me to gush any further about it. If you don't know what this book is about, it follows the character of Alex, who is the son of the president, and he has to form a fake friendship with Prince Henry, who is a Prince of England, and of course that fake friendship turns into real friendship, which then turns into romance, and it's lovely and cute and makes you love their love. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say because I've already said everything. If you haven't picked up this one yet, then it is the perfect time to. And I'm pretty sure the audiobook of this is available on Scribd, that reading app website thing. So yeah, it's a perfect time to try an audiobook as well. So those are my 5 light-hearted, fun reads to read whilst practicing social distancing, which I hope you are all doing because it saves lives. Do not take this lightly because it is very serious. But those books will help you forget about the seriousness of everything, hopefully. Like I said, I didn't realise how many of them were LGBT rom-coms. It did make me realise, however, that I really don't have any women love women rom-com type stories, and that is an absolute tragedy. I need some, immediately, so if you have any recommendations, then please leave them down in the comments, because I am looking for nice things right now. Just happy book recs in general. Anything that's funny. Please share them with me. Also, if you end up giving any of these books a try, then do let me know. I hope fiction brings you a much needed escape right now. Please stay indoors if you can and stay safe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye!